I guess I went and bid at a job the other day and I got asked if I was vaccinated. So I get a call the other day. Homeowner calls, wants me to come out and look at the driveways. I get the address, I go out there. When I get there, knock on the door, the lady comes to the door. She tells me that she wants me to do this and that to the driveway. And I said, okay, ma'am. I said, let me walk and look it over real good and measure it. And I'll come back up here in a few minutes and I'll give you a price if that's okay. She said, sure, that's fine. I walk out into the driveway, start looking it over, grab a measuring wheels, measured it up, get done. I go back up there and knock on the door. She comes out the door. I explain to her what all I'm going to do and the price and this and that. And she says, okay, it sounds great. When could you start if I give you the job? I said, well, I can do it for you next week, one day next week. She says, okay. She says, well, can I ask you another question? I said, sure, what is it? She says, are you and your crew vaccinated? I said, no, ma'am. I said, but we do take ivermectin. She says, ivermectin, what is that? I said, it's a horse dewormer. And she says, now where did you hear it's okay to put a horse dewormer in your body at? I said, from a TikTok. She says, from a TikTok? Don't you mean a veterinarian? I said, no, ma'am, from TikTok. It's a social media app. She said, off of a TikTok video, and you trust that? I said, yeah, it's worked so far. She tried to make a joke and says, so do you think it's going to turn you into a horse? I said, ma'am, before I answer that question, can I ask you a question? She said, sure. I said, you vaccinated? Oh, yeah, I've had both of my shots and my booster. I said, and who told you to do that? The government, right? She says, yeah. I said, so you mean to tell me you're putting an experimental drug in your body just because the government told you to, and you trust that? She said, you know, I didn't even think of it like that, and you make a really good point. And I said, oh, yeah, how's that? And she said, well, you know, whatever you think's good for your body, I might not think's good for mine. But then what I think's good for mine, you might not think's good for yours. And I said, yep, you nailed it. Anyways, after it's all said and done, I said, ma'am, you asked me a question I never answered. And she said, oh, what's that? I said, you was asking me if the ivermectin's going to turn me into a horse. She says, well, what do you think? You think it'll turn you into a horse? I said, I don't know if it will or not. I said, but if it does, I'd rather be a horse than a sheep. We both laughed, and she said, now get out of here. She said, but you better show back up next week to do my driveway. I said, yes, ma'am, I'll be back next week to do the driveway.